and we're going to see what they have in store so that we can go back, do the maths, and see what we get.
The Jam family. We're Irie, living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam family, the Jam family, yeah. Jam fam, come hang with me.
The evening is prepped, dinner is served. This is Wesley at Central Jerk Center. The episode of the Jam Fams, and on today's episode I wanted to come and talk to you about how we get around in Jamaica. Now, for the longest of while I have had a car, so our experience of getting around has been that way, and Eliona knows nothing different than to be chauffeured everywhere she's going by one person or another in her family. So having to come to Jamaica, we wanted to make sure that when we were getting to come here, we were going to be able to, you know, have a similar way of life like we did when we were back in the UK. It was a priority to have somewhere that we know this is where we're going to stay and it is ours. And then the next priority was we need to get around, we need to come and get to do things, enjoy Jamaica. And in order to do that, you need to be able to get around. And so having a car was going to be that added thing that we need to ensure that this move is going to work the way that we had envisioned it and want to make sure that we're enjoying it. So I earmarked funds for different things like you do when you're planning projects like these. And so the funds that were earmarked for car before we even got to Jamaica and settled into Jamaica with all the unforeseen costs and expenditures, that money was almost already finished. And so when I got here and seeing how many other expenditures that weren't planned for that was going to need to come out of funds that I'd put away for things such as some of the furnishing that we want to buy when we get here, as well as the car that was so essential as a part of our moving back to Jamaica. So when we got here and we took stock of the amount of money that I have that was designated to different things in this Jamaica return project, I then stopped to have a look at where we are in terms of buying a car so that we are able to get around. And to help us with that, I was busy doing financial logistics, really, moving money to do the things that needs to be done and ensuring that we can get everything covered and still be able to cover our expenses as we go through the months and get ourselves settled in here. So I'm going to show you some footage of us going car hunting so that we can get some wheels. So I will throw that in now so that you can have a look at it, what that we did earlier. It's a rainy afternoon, but we are going to go and look at some cars just to see what we can get and what's available. This is a glimpse of the lot. So we'll go in and see what's on the inside. So we've managed to come out and we are now on the lot. So we're having a look around just to see what's available from here. We know our things that we're coming to get and the price range that we intend to spend and all of our spec that we want. And we're just going to see what's here and then go from there. Okay, well the booth is probably not.
That's fine. I'll look at the packing. Whoa. Look inside.
Okay, it does look nice.
I especially like the front seat.
Okay. You like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Close. So that one is on your list.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nissan is one of my favorite cars.
Okay.
I'm definitely getting one when I'm older, but in black.
Okay, then let's go back.
Trying to save my straightened hair.
I'm going back at our second car dealership, and we're going to see what they have in store so that we can go back, do the maths, and see what we get. So we have a wide pick to go home and just meditate which is which and what we want to do. Agreed? No? We'll see how it goes then. So from that experience, I got an idea of, what's available, what's here, what I would want to probably drive. And the first thing that we realize is that some of the names of the vehicle are different here to what we know them to be in the UK. So they might be the same make, but the model name is different. And so, for example, the Honda Jazz that we know as a Honda Jazz in the UK here is called a Honda Fit, and there is a Toyota model that we know in the UK, and here it's called Toyota Aqua, but I know it as something different, for example. So those are two that I can remember off the top of my head. So we got to look around and see what the different cars look like and what we would want, and also the price. And goodness, when I look at the price comparison, it was starkly different. A car that I could probably get in the UK for about £3,000 to £5,000 would be setting me back way over a million, 1.5 million or more here, which is a significant difference in price, really. And so that was the first reality of seeing the difference in cost based on the same car, the same make, the same model, same mileage, all of the things the same. If I have the identical car here, identical car in the UK, it's going to be more expensive here by a long shot. In some cases, it's more than 1.5 times more. Some of the times it's even double the price, and you could even get them to be a little bit more expensive. So that was one of the first realities that we've had. And then the second thing was recognizing that the insurance as well here is such a premium in comparison to insurance in the UK. And so that's something, again, that we also need to take into consideration, because it's a whole package, isn't it? You buy the car, you need to license and insure it, and then do all the servicing and things like that it requires. So it's going to be a cost, but for the person who want to have a car, it's also a convenience having one, because especially here, because you can get to go where you want to go when you want to go, and you don't really need to give a lot of thought to any of the other things. So in the end, the decision had to be made, and the decision was made that we're going to have to delay buying a car for now. And so we're going to have to get around the good old-fashioned Jamaican way, which is to get the taxi. Busy afternoon school run. I'm trying to get there and get there on time. So let's try to see if I can actually manage to get there before it's a done dismissal. It's the rush of another afternoon, vibrancy and life. Yeah, we're ready, we're coming. And now we're going to go into our taxi. So this is at the taxi stand, or one of the taxi stands. Going to go take taxi now to go home. New green, another afternoon. And somebody hiding from the camera. But that's what man is looking like on this busy afternoon.
So hard.
This is us on the
It's the
taxi
one thing I ever
going
asked you,
home.
Toby. I said I never wanted to talk about my dad, and you decided
Trying
to
to make
announce it.
sure we don't have anybody's face in there. And that's the entertainment on the taxi.
I think I should be eternally grateful to you, not have a life of my own because you saved me from a dumpster. Just leave me alone.
The next day at school, everyone had heard about their dad and their friends that dropped him like a dead father.
And this is how we get around most times at the moment. And there are lots of taxis on the road. It's just that sometimes it can be very difficult to get them because sometimes they remind me of London buses. So you want a taxi, you're waiting for a taxi, there's no taxi coming, and then taxis come and there are so many of them that you have a choice, or they come after you've been waiting but they're full, so you have to wait for others. Yeah, so if you know, you know how that is for those people who live in London. The experience is a bit similar in that regard sometimes here, depending on the time of day, and it's prevalent in the rush hours. So that's something that we've got to do. And I've done a video already explaining the different types of taxis that are here in Jamaica. So, and we take the shared taxi when we're going out. So those are ones that are running, that provides a service where they pick people up at different points on the journey. So at the moment, that's how we're getting around. We get around with taxi for now until we are in a position where we can get a car. I don't just want to get a car just for the sake of getting a car. I want to get a car that is going to be, we all know it's a depreciating asset. So for me, it's going to be an investment that we will have going on a couple of years from now. So I want one that's going to be efficient and one that's not going to cost me a lot for maintenance as we go through. Of course, I just want something that's also functional. For me, it's not a social declaration, and so therefore it's just a functional thing that I need to be able to get me from point A to point B, and the convenience of doing so. In the interim, we get to walk where we're going, and so that is an added asset for us because it gives me the added exercise that I personally need to help me along my healthy journey as I'm here in Jamaica. So that's the mode of transport currently. We take taxis. In other scenarios, we have family members and friends who, if we want to go to certain places and they are able to take us, then we make those arrangements and they'll take us to those places. I'm looking forward to when we do have the car so that we can get to go to some of the places that we plan to go and explore and see and put on our staycations and explore Jamaica. If you've ever watched this song, it's called, I don't remember the actual title of it, but it says something like, "This is an experience to us to see two white girls on a minibus." This is probably aging me now. So that's sort of our experience currently, and we definitely don't want to do that whilst we're touring the country. So it would be good to have a car in order to do so. So that's the plan. Until then, we will do our taxi. So this evening I decided that I was going to give Eliona a little bit of a surprise because she hasn't had one of her takeaways, Kokora, in quite a while because, of course, we can't go to Kokora anymore. So I thought since she can't go to Kokora, I'll bring Kokora to her. So I did a little mashup of hers and my order that we would do. So normally she would get sweet and sour chicken. So I prepped the chicken earlier, make it up, did my sauce. The chicken is back in there now, just trying to get succulent and giving it a couple more seconds. And then I also did my part of it. So she would have had the rice that they do, and I would have had noodles. So we've got the noodles. So now we're just going to combine everything and then have our meal. So she came in the kitchen just now and saw that I was making it, and she was so excited. So I can only wait to see how she's going to feel when she gets it. So I'm just trying to bring a little bit of what she's used to into her day as often as I can do it. Because at the end of the day, we need to get those little things that we need to keep us going and make us energized and ready to take on every day.
I came in the kitchen and I saw that my mum made some sweet and sour chicken with some spaghetti like how I used to have in the UK when it's Chinese night. So I just put it with some orange juice and I'm going to sit and enjoy.
Out, but this caught my eye. I've passed it quite a few times, but it caught my eyes today. The thatch roof. So there are container buildings. I don't know what kind of offices are in there, or shops or stores. But above it, it's the thatch roof for me. Speaks of Mama Africa and the genius of the Jamaican people. Hello, it's one of those days again, Jump from Tribe. So I'm here busy trying to get my seasoned batch up and going, and we've already managed to cut them up, so this is where we're at. So I've cut everything up. See that Scotch bonnet? If you can only smell it, and it's just one, okay? And if you smell that aroma from it. So I've cut everything up here, and I'm just going to start filling the blender and just blend them out and then bag them out and everything. So you'll be able to of it. Just going to mix that in and then bag them out. So these are the bags that I'm going to use. I've just poured it in the measuring cup, and now I'm just going to pour some in. For me, it's just about managing my time so I get this done quickly. So you can decide how you do yours. This is how I do mine. And then I'm just going to tie them out, and I'll tie that up, and that's one bag. And again, 7 bags. So I'm sorted for the next couple weeks of cooking. It was good to have you here today to have a chat with you. If you haven't already become an official tribe member, please. I'm giving you the moment now to be able to do that. So let's get it going. And please tell us in the comments below if you've moved countries. What were some of the things you found challenging, and how did you adapt to that new environment? And bye for now. See you in the next one.